In the Bach Badinerie, we have trills, and they are Baroque trills. The Baroque era ran from 1600 to 1750, and Badinerie just means a light, fast movement. It's a term that later was replaced by the Italian word scherzo. Every period of music has different rules about how trills are played. The Baroque era was perhaps the most complex, but these trills in the piece we're playing are all from the top down. So that means if the note that says it's going to be a trill is an F sharp, depending on the key, the first note that you play is above it. So if you were in the key of G, the note you would play above it would be trills on F sharp, the G that's in the key signature, unless otherwise noted. So you're in the key of G, so this trill would be from above. So it would be G, F sharp, G, F sharp. If you happen to be in the key of A, and there was a trill on an F sharp, that key has a G sharp in it, and that would be a whole step trill. But the shape of the trill is, there's 4 notes. Only the first one is plucked with the pick. So let's say it's the G sharp, G to F sharp trill. So you play the G, pull off, hammer, pull off. And up to tempo, it's going to be something like, that last note is the one you want to hear. The stuff before it is the ornament, and it's supposed to sound quick and graceful. Okay, so how do you develop these trills? These are hard to do. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see a little more neck. There we go. So let's do a little exercise on the first string to help. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do all the possibilities of these trills. So if it's here, you start with the second finger, the first and second fingers are down. You play with the pick, the second fret A, then you do a pull off. A pull off means that you take your finger and you pull across the string directly towards the center of your palm. It actually plucks the string with your left hand. Then you do a hammer on and another pull off. So it's pluck, pull, hammer, pull. Pluck, pull, hammer, pull. And eventually you get to where they're quick. The things that make these easier. The closer you come to the fret, the more energy of the string you will preserve. And these are not graceful motions. It sounds nice and light, but that's an abrupt yank across the string, and it's a hammer. You have to hit those strings enough to re-excite them a little bit. So there's a lot of energy being used in your left hand. Okay, so that's between your first finger and your second finger. These trills can fall anywhere in your hand. So the other possible combinations, a whole step trill between your third finger and your first. Same thing. Play the third finger, pull towards the center of your palm, hammer, pull. Pick, pull, hammer, pull. Between 2 and 3. You can have this finger down or not. Between these 2 fingers, 4 and 2. And the one you'll like the most, between 4 and 3. If you look at my finger is landing, and the right side of my finger, as I see it, is touching the fret. The accuracy of this top finger is going to make the trill happen. Obviously, you have to keep enough pressure on the bottom string to get the note. So, an exercise that you can do to build these up. Start with, once you get the basic motion and you can get some notes out, that will take some time. And also, these are tiring. When your hand gets tired, stop. It's better to do this in 60-second doses and build up slowly. But an exercise you should build towards. Go 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3. Yes, and then the parrot sings. And then you can either go up the neck, I'll have to go get him. That's on the first string. That's easier in the sense that when you pull towards your palm, there's nothing there. But these don't always happen on the first string. They happen on the inside strings as well. Which means you have to pull towards your palm, and if you're lucky, you don't need the other string to be ringing. You can let the back of this finger deaden the string behind. You can kind of hear it. I'm going across all those strings. So everything is the same except you have to go, there's this obstacle in between. So you can do this exercise and go up the strings, you can do this exercise and go across the strings. Sorry. The good news, when you go to the lower strings, because the string has more mass, they ring easier. The trills are actually easier to do on the lower string because the string rings longer anyway. But the stretch becomes longer, so there's multi-tiers of things that you're practicing. Last thing you should know is as you go up the neck to about the 5th fret, and there's less pressure on the strings, there's less tension on the strings, they get easier. But when you get up here and you get to where there's more space between the string and the neck, what we call the relief in the neck, then they get trickier again because it's the level of the strings depressed and higher. When you press down a string up here, there's more distance between where your finger is and the next string, so it becomes a little trickier that way. So there's all kinds of little gives and takes all the way up and down the fretboard. So start with 2 fingers and get working on those. And remember, as soon as you get tired, stop, rest, and come back. These are incredible exercises for helping you build up speed, accuracy, left hand strength, and finger independence. It's not just going to be playing this one piece. These are going to help you a great deal, but these are very difficult exercises. These are the push-ups of playing a fretted instrument. So good luck. Ask me any questions if you'd like to.